my name is Jean-Daniel Beauvallet. I'm the music editor of a French magazine called Les Inrecuptibles. I've been doing this job for almost 30 years. We created a magazine almost 30 years ago, and before that I was a concert promoter, a radio presenter on a pirate radio station, so I've been doing music, basically dealing with music all my life.
The lanes were silent, there was nothing, no one, nothing around.
Where did the name come from?
The name came from one of his radio shows, pirate radio shows in Versailles. Christian Feuvret, who started the magazine. I mean, I didn't start the magazine. I arrived pretty early on, but Christian started the magazine, and that was the name of his radio show. And it's a stupid play on word on the TV channel, TV series, The Untouchables, which in France is called Les Incorruptibles. So it was Les Incorruptibles of rock, a bit silly. And actually, when I went to journalism college with the first issue of the magazine to show my old lecturers, they said, you're never going to last. You're going to last 2 issues with a name so stupid and so unpronounceable. And, hello, we're still here.
And you just mentioned about the Smiths. Was it really hard kind of introducing that to France?
Yeah, because...
What was like the moment that it really like was?
No, there was never a moment for the Smiths in France. Not once they were alive. They played 2 small gigs, only twice in Paris. They never played outside Paris. And really people thought they were just a gay band. I mean, it was so crazy, the things that people, because of the flowers, you know, it was not like Bon Jovi or Guns N' Roses or whoever the music press was excited about at the time. And they just totally missed out on the Smiths, the French music press. There was only one journalist called Mishka Sayas, who was a great influence on us when we started the magazine, and still is, on his writing and everything, a big influence on me. And he did a big piece in Libération on the Smiths. And thank God there was people like this, because I felt there was a big injustice being carried on.
Would you say there's any equivalent to kind of Joy Division and this buzz that was created in the UK?
No, strangely enough, France at the time, in the 80s, was always 2 or 3 years late, so you would get copycats of Joy Division 3 years later, you would get copycats of Coldplay like 4 years later. Not so much anymore, because I think now kids have got access to the same technology, to the same music, and to the same references as anybody. You can live in the depth of France or in Brooklyn, and you can have the same tools and the same record collection, because it's all virtual.
But you kind of got Bébé Brune who've taken the risk.
Oh yeah, but Bébé Brune are a joke. Yeah, but Bébé Brune are a good example of a French band that's trying to translate 100% the image, the sound, the lyrics, the bad boy attitude of a British band. I mean, with them it was the Libertines. They wanted to be the French Libertines.
And which British band do you wish were French?
Actually, Noel Gallagher, because we definitely lack good stand-up comedians, and I think he's much more of a stand-up comedian than he is a musician.
And do you have a favourite French artist or band?
Well, there's quite a lot.
All time.
God.
Allow top 3.
Okay, that's really awful of you. That's really cruel. Daft Punk would be in my top 3 because of their intelligence, because of what they changed for France, and all the doors they opened for French artists and French creators in general. I would put Barbara, a singer from the 50s, 60s, who I think is an amazing lyricist, amazing singer, very strong. I think lots of people in England love Edith Piaf. I think if they knew Barbara, they would love her even better, because she's like even the darker side of Edith Piaf. And the third one, oh God, you're cruel. I would put Jean-Louis Murat for his lyrics, or Dominica or Miosek, one of the 3. So I've got 5. Because I know I can't help it. But look,
it's a bit of a cheesy question, but what advice would you give for musicians kind of crossing the border either way, France to UK or UK to France?
So for French band to tour the UK, I would tell them not to expect to be treated with so much luxury that they are treated in France. You got all these venues that are state or local town hall funded in France, subsidized, and they have quite a lot of money, so they get great food, they get washing machines, they get great hotels, they get all of this when they tour in France. So they can't expect really that in England. If they get £20 and some triangle sandwiches, they should be grateful, and maybe one beer each. So don't expect that level of luxury. But on the other hand, who's got the better pop scene? Is it France or is it England? So I don't think the luxury counts really.
And of course you have Bureau Export, who kind of
yeah,
boost.
Yeah, of course. Well, no, it's fantastic. It's an amazing tool, and I'm amazed it still exists despite all the budget cuts in culture. And I think it's an amazing device for young. I mean, a band like Phoenix wouldn't have been where they are now without French Music Bureau or Bureau Export.
Hair brushed and parted, typical me, typical me, typical